Does your heart race when you think about getting in front of a camera? It's normal if you do. Yes,
Boy, yeah, I know. It's like
we've
really
been
normal
there.
for people that have been doing video for years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we understand. And we're going to, in this little life, we're going to discuss a bit about the thinking that causes that, and also some techniques on tips on how to help you with that nervousness. You know, if you're not a teenager or 20 something and used to growing up with a video camera in your pocket, then you know, this might be uncomfortable to step in front of a camera. It might be, and we hear a lot from people that that's one of the things that keep them from making videos for their business. And even though they know it would be so beneficial, because that's one of the best ways to get your know, like, and trust factor. So, but it can stop
That's
people
right.
with anxiety in front of a camera.
I know I'm still conquering some of my internal afraid to be seen. And my procrastination had been, I could always just set up the studio even better and better, but I'd find that I wasn't making enough videos. And so we will be presenting to you something called emotional freedom techniques. But before we do that, let's just sort of think about some of the reasons why.
Well, who are we? I'm
Who are we?
Yeah, I'm Nancy Walsh, if you haven't seen us before. I'm an EFT practitioner and a hypnotherapist and coach.
Right, and I'm Robert Arnot, the video wizard.
Right.
And now you know who we are, in case you didn't already from the emails that we sent.
Yes, there you go. So, or if you're watching this from a different area, so, you know, it is normal to feel anxious, and it's mostly a mindset issue that tends to cause our anxiousness, you know, the feeling of being judged.
That's right.
You
might stumble on your words and make mistakes.
Or worry about it.
Yeah, or you don't think you know what to say because you haven't practiced enough.
Hate being in front of a spotlight, you know, either live presenting, but especially in video where you have to stare at this, you know, little tiny lens. It's very uncomfortable to stare at a lens, and yet it's so important to look in the lens.
And I think a lot of people, there's a huge barrier just because they don't like how they look or sound. And, you know, I personally think that working through these things is one of the most amazing personal development things you can do for just your life, as even the bigger picture than just doing videos. And so we'd like to share some ideas with you on how to help smooth that out.
Well, there's some great mind shift ability to have a different mindset that will help with the thinking in front, you know, the anxiety in front of a camera. But there's also a technique, which I am, you know, a practitioner of, is EFT. And EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, or tapping. And I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate, you know, how to use it for anxiety, because it is really a stress-reducing method. It really can help with reducing the fight or flight feeling. It's been proven scientifically that it really reduces the amygdala, that's the fight or flight part of our brain. They've been doing it with, you know, PET scans and show that specifically that it does it, but it's used for many different things. But anxiety or stress is a big piece for helping with it.
I find even when I start to think about using EFT that I calm down. It helps me to take a deeper breath.
Yeah.
And yet I want to be clear that EFT is actually just tapping on a series of the acupuncture points, not needing needles. We're just tapping to stimulate it. But over the course of the 20 or 30 years it's really been developed, it has been found that it actually, the sequence Nancy's going to show you, and we actually have a guide page that we'll offer later. it helps with being able to just calm things down. And it doesn't matter what the topic is. There's just this sequence that you can use, and you can actually use it by yourself too, but it helps to have a practitioner that helps guide. So that's what we want to do. It's so helpful that people have kept talking about camera anxiety, and we wanted to not keep this a secret for those of you that may not know about it. So
right.
Nancy can help with...
And we demonstrated in our Video Revolution Summit,
right.
But we wanted to do it here as well. Or even if you've seen it, if you haven't done it before, the one-page little guide that I'll add in the comment section will help you to do that as well. One of the things people are concerned about with tapping is thinking that if you're focusing on the negative to start with, that you'll just make it worse. Well, consider it already there if you're having those feelings. And this is a technique, if you're actually talking about it and tapping at the same time, it can actually lower the stress or whatever you're tapping on. If you're just talking about it, it often can go up, but with the talking about it and tapping, it can go down. And we use a way of measuring it. So I'm going to demonstrate all that. Might as well do that now.
From the standpoint of law of attraction, so many people think that you should always just focus on the positive, and why are you focusing on the negative? Well, we have to be okay with tuning into that, because that's what it's sort of like twist your arm till it hurts and then you can relieve it some. And so what we're doing is well, the point is you have to bring up, I think for me, the camera anxiety is a real thing, and to focus on it so we can help with the tapping to get it to clear.
If the issue is really there and you're already feeling it, then the tapping can really help. And sometimes in this demonstration, I'm going to go ahead and help you to kind of get familiar with that feeling, and then we'll tap to see, if it can go down a little bit. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to be tapping in different spots, and then Robert's going to do it after me, and you can just tap with what Robert's doing. That's the way a
usual client practitioner session goes, and it helps to have the guidance.
But you can do it yourself as well. So before we start, though, I want to have you help get in touch with those feelings. So I wanted you to just close your eyes for a minute and imagine stepping in front of a camera, a video camera. You're going to try to do a do a video for your business, and you're just, even though you might have prepared and so forth, you may be feeling a bit anxious, feeling that, get in touch with feeling maybe a little butterfly in your stomach or sweaty palms, or just like looking in that camera and it's just like, so unnatural. You feel that. And if it, from 0, having no anxiety, to 10 being pretty high, give yourself a number if you can tap into those feelings, and just see where you are in those feelings, in the anxiety before we start. So that is a help too in measuring. So.
Yeah, right. So for me right now,
where would you be?
I'm actually, just because of the process we're in, I feel like I'm about like a 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can feel it in your body or in your mind, thinking about being judged, or what you're going to say, or how you're going to look. All those feelings can come up, And so I'm going to go ahead and we start here with the setup. And so even though I'm feeling all this anxiety. About being in front of a camera. Not knowing what to say. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Even though it's really hard to talk in front of a camera. And I don't like it. I'm open to loving and accepting myself.
I'm open to loving and accepting myself.
Even though it's really hard and I feel pretty anxious about doing a video.
Even though it's really hard and I feel pretty anxious about doing a video.
We're going live.
We're going live.
I'm open to loving and accepting myself.
I'm open to loving and accepting myself.
All this anxiousness. Tapping
All
on the
this
eyebrow.
anxiousness.
Feeling anxious.
Feeling anxious.
Feeling uncomfortable about being in front of a camera.
Feeling uncomfortable about being in front of a camera.
Don't like being in front of a camera.
Don't like being in front of a camera.
Turn that red light on and I get choked up.
Turn that red light on and I get choked up.
Feeling nervous.
Feeling nervous.
Being uncomfortable.
Being uncomfortable.
Don't like it very much.
I don't like it very much at all.
It's really awkward.
It's really awkward.
I'd like to look at somebody
I'd like to look at somebody
while I'm talking.
while I'm talking.
Not a stupid lens.
Not a stupid lens.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
It's so odd.
It's so odd.
Don't like that at all.
I don't like that at all.
Feeling uncomfortable.
Feeling uncomfortable.
Okay, so I'm going to take a deep breath. And then just check in for a minute. We're not quite done, but I want you to check in and see what number you might be feeling now.
Well, just from the breathing, it's like, and I just have to, envision the intuition. It's like a 4.
Okay.
And I feel like pointing out to everybody that normally we would be spending even more time going through that first sequence, and then we open up to more of a positive side.
And that's what we're going to do. If your numbers aren't quite down where you'd like it, just watch those and do something similar to that until you feel the numbers down. But I'm going to go ahead and show you what you can do to start once the numbers are, between 3 and 5 or so. Then you can start adding some positive statements with that, or some reframe is what we're going to do. And I'm going to be adding some of the reframes of some of the other tips that we're going to be sharing just briefly about what you can do for this nervousness. So even though I may have some remaining nervousness about being in front of a camera, I'm open to it being easier than I thought.
I'm open to it being easier than I thought.
Even though I'm feeling anxious, staring at that camera lens, I'm open to imagining a good friend that I'm talking to. That there's somebody right behind that lens that I'm talking to, that I want to help. And sometimes not focusing on how we're going to be.
Sometimes not
on the video.
focusing on how we might be on video.
And rather focusing on how we can help the person watching. It might help make me feel a bit better. And I can always take deep breaths. Before turning that camera on. Just know that I can be more prepared.
That I can be more prepared.
Or practice. But tapping can really help even if I'm prepared.
The tapping can really help if I'm being prepared.
And know that I can release remaining nervousness.
And know that I can release the remaining nervousness.
And feel a bit better.
And feel a little bit better.
And know that I'm out to help others. With my videos. Okay. So now take another deep breath. And then read it again. And you can see that you can use it once the numbers and the energy of the stress is down, then you can add some of the positive stuff with it.
Right. And you can keep doing it, because if you realize how little time that actually takes compared to not doing anything, or all the things you could do to procrastinate. It's really helpful. And I usually just look for like a number in my sort of my mind's eye, and now it's like a 2. So I've definitely dropped, and it feels comfortable. And what I know also is that by doing the EFT ahead of doing a video, it's like one of the preparation methods, right?
Yeah.
And so
that is for us.
it helps me be more attracted to the camera, and everything seems to just work out more smoothly. And I'm very thankful that we have that. And I pray that you all seeing this will, if you haven't known about it, or even if you've heard about EFT, that you'll take my advice and do it more.
Yes, and you can always work with a practitioner to help with it. And there's some other tips that I mentioned, while I was tapping, like taking deep breaths. There's just, if you don't have a moment to tap, but you do have a moment to take a deep breath, taking a deep breath in, and then actually taking about twice as long to let it out, and do about 3 of those. Be amazed how quickly your nerves can settle.
Right.
And also sometimes, even if that doesn't work, I know Mel Robbins has shared that she would get so nervous in front of right before going on stage, and she saw her hands sweating, or the butterflies going, and she would reframe it for excitement, because those same physical sensations can go with excitement versus anxiety. So just reframing it, I'm kind of excited about sharing this message. If you got benefit from this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and hit that bell notification so you know when our next video comes out. And we'd love to hear comments from you, so comment below. Thanks.
Yep, thank you.